all the students here. So happy to meet all of you again for our bridge course. So welcome all of you to Arjuna Educational Institutions. So here all the faculties are here from IITs and NITs. Okay, so hope you are all enjoying the classes here. So till yesterday we were having mathematics and chemistry classes, right? So for today it will be mathematics and physics. Okay, after this class we will be having physics class, fine? Okay, so today Uday sir will be taking for physics and myself Santosh Bhatt, graduate from NITK Surathkal. So as I was telling all the faculties here, we all have experience of cracking these competitive examinations, IITs and NITs. So we have this passion of training the students for JEE and NEET, and therefore we have this institution in Harvard, Arjuna Education Institution, that dream. Okay, thank you very much for joining with us. So we'll continue our discussions. We were doing discussion on surds, right? So discussion on surds and indices, and I'm planning to complete that part today and move. Okay. So now, yesterday we were discussing this question. Fine. Anybody has any doubt in that? Could you get the answer for K? Could you get answer for K? All are able to hear me? Yes, okay, fine. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Yes, Diya, Akash, Daivik, Shivshankar. So thank you very much for your replies. Okay, so now could you get the second question? We were discussing second question, I think, yesterday's class, in the end of the class. Okay, could you get the answer for the second question? Could you get answer for second question? What is the value of K? K equal to 2 power 1 by 4. Okay. Fine. How do you do this here? So that is root 50 is there. What is root 50? Root 50 is root of 25 into 2, right? And that's going to be 5 root 2. And what is root 48? Root 48 is 16 threes, right? 16 threes are 48. So 16 threes means it is 4 root 3. Okay. Not got. Okay, we'll discuss that. So what I will do is I will write it as root of. I'll write root of. So 25 root 2. Sorry. 5 root 3 is please keep your mics off so that there won't be any disturbance to the class. Okay, thank you. Fine. So 5 root 2, then what do you get? 5 root 2 plus you have 4 root 3. So that's going to be not 4, I think it's 16. Yeah, 16 into 3, correct. So 4 root 3. So 5 root 2 plus 4 root 3 equal to K times you have root 3 plus root 2, right? So root 3 plus root 2. So here, I'll write it with this pen. It is fine. So 5 root 2 plus 4 root 3. Now I'll square both the sides. If you square both the sides, you'll get 5 root 2 plus 4 root 3. So square root goes away. And here you'll get square, K square. And root 3 square is 3. Root 2 square is 2. Plus you have 2 root 6, right? Okay. So what do you get K square equal to? K square you will get 5 root 2 plus 4 root 3. So divided by, I'll write it here as 5 plus 2 root 6. Okay, this is the value of K square. Okay, so what is now? How do you do this? This is something called as rationalization. You have studied, right? So whenever you have an irrational term in the denominator, you want to make it free from irrational numbers. So what I will do is 5 root 2 plus 4 root 3. So divided by, I will multiply and divide with 5 minus 2 root 6 and 5 minus 2 root 6. Okay, so what will be what it will be now? So like you have to multiply that, that is 5 root 2, 5 root 2 into, that's 25 root 2 here. Okay, then 5 root 2 is a little lengthy, but so 10 root 12 you will get, and you have plus 20 root 3 you will get. Okay, and lastly you will get 8 into root 18. Okay, that's minus 8 root 18. Okay, I will write it bit here. Okay, so you're not able to see anything here. I'm writing with, yeah, right now I'm writing. I can't see anything. Okay. So you are able to see the question? Yes, I'm not able to see. Okay, you are able to see the question, but you are not able to see what I'm writing on the board. Yes? Okay. Just a minute. So you are able to see only question. Okay, fine. I'll just switch it to another mode. Question is also not visible. Okay. Yeah, I'm just switching to a new mode. Okay. So be connected. I'm just switching to a new mode. Okay, now are you able to see? I have shifted to OneNote. Are you able to see the screen now? No? Yeah, only there is a question. Okay, it's a black screen and there is only question. I'm going to write it here. So hope you are able to see the screen now. Okay, fully black, but there is a question, right?
Where? I can't see it, sir.
Yeah, are you able to see the question? Root of root 50 plus root 48 equal to k times, that question you are able to see?
No.
Okay. Yeah, screen share is black. In that I have pasted a question. Just a minute, I'm checking. Okay. Just a minute, I'm re-sharing it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now you're able to see, right? So there is a black screen on which I have written a question. Okay. Now you're able to see this? Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. Now you have root of this. So what I was explaining you, square both the sides, you will get the root 50 is 5 root 2, and this is 4 root 3 is equal to square of k square into 5 plus 2 root 6, right? So then you will get k square equal to 5 root 2 plus 4 root 3, so divided by 5 plus 2 root 6. So then you can do rationalization here. Okay, fine. So you can do rationalization here, and when you do rationalization you have to multiply this. When you are multiplying, each term has to be multiplied to two other terms. So you will get 25 root 2. Okay, then you will get 10 root 12, because root 2 into root 6 is root 12. Okay, then 4 root 3 into 5, so this part, so it's going to be 20 root 3. Okay, so minus you have 8 root 18. Fine. So whole divided by, so what do you get? Whole divided by 25, that's 25 minus 4 into 6, that is 24. So 25 minus 24 is equal to how much? 1. Okay, so denominator is going to become 1, very clear. The numerator, I need to simplify this further. So how can I write? I can write it as 25 root 2 minus, how do you write root 12? Root 12 is 4 into 3, right? 4 into 3 is, that is 2 comes out, that is 20 root 3 you will get. Okay, and that is again 20 root 3 here, so they'll get cancelled, and you have in the end you have 8 into root 18. What is root 18? Root 18 is 9 into 2, so 9 into 2 is 3 comes out, so this 24 into root 2. Root 2 or root 3? Root 2, yeah, root 2. So divided by, you have 1 here, so automatically, so these got cancelled, and what do you get is root 2. Okay, that means k square equal to root 2, so therefore you will get k equal to 2 power 1 by 4. So answer is k equal to 2 power 1 by 4. Okay, I think one of the student had got this answer. I think Ishwari, I think she had got this answer. Okay, good. So k equal to 2 power 1 by 4. Fine. So this is the answer for the last question. Okay. Now, so then we will do one or two questions on simplification. How does surds can be further surds can be simplified, and one or two questions on comparison part. Then we will go to trigonometry. Okay. Yeah. I have shared two questions here. The questions on simplification. You have 1 by 1 plus a power m minus n plus 1 by 1 plus a power n minus n. So these all questions you need to just know how to write it properly. So the a power m minus 1 means it is a power m by a power n, right? So if you write this as a power m by a power n, okay, so this part, the first question, okay, so if you write it as 1 by 1 plus, it is a power m by a power m, and this can be written as 1 plus a power n by a power m, right? If you take LCM, how does it look? So here this will go and get multiplied, and a power n comes to numerator. So you have fraction by fraction, a by b by c by d, so it goes above. So what you get is a power n divided by a power n divided by a power n plus a power n. This you'll get, plus you have a power m, this goes multiplied, gets multiplied here and again comes above. So it is a power m divided by a power n plus a power m. So is it not the denominator is same? If the denominator is same, so what do you get? Yeah, Samuel's last question you got k square equal to root 2. Okay, so k square equal to root 2 means k equal to, again you have to take square root, right? So square root of square root 2. So that therefore you will get 2 power 1 by 4. Okay. Yeah. So you will get answer a power n plus a power m divided by a power n plus a power m. So therefore you will get answer equal to 1. Clear? So this is the first question. Now it's a very simple one. Fine. Now how do you do the second question here? So this question I want you to explore and do. So p plus p square plus p cube plus p power 4. There are so many terms are there. Now all things, only thing you have to do in this case, you should try to take things common. So when you try to take things common, how does it looks? That's what I want you to do. Okay, try this question. So this why are we discussing this part? I was telling, no, in physics there are the whole year physics depends upon mathematics. You know, the physics, the calculation part. If you are good in mathematics, automatically you will like it. Okay. Generally, what happens? Students, those who are planning to prepare for JEE, they will have little aversion for biology. Correct? So biology means kaun rattega yaar, so much will be like that. So those who are planning to prepare for biology, that is for NEET, they will have little, may not be, but like in general, they will have little aversion for mathematics. Okay, but that mathematics will till 10th you will not feel like that. Once you come to 11th and 12th, you will surely feel like that. So mathematics, because it's very vast and more of logical and reasoning. So now, if you are a bit poor at mathematics, that will also affect your physics. Okay, so in physics, all these things will come. Okay, all the powers, all these degrees. Okay, so the first chapter itself for you in physics is measurements. Okay, measurements, there is one chapter like that. So there you will see the questions very much related to power. So you should be these are very basic things, but you should have understand. Okay, how did you do question number 2? So you are doing what is your procedure, or what is your approach to a question? See, generally what I try to do whenever I teach, I try to make students understand approach to the question. So once you are clear about the approach, it becomes very easy for you. Okay, I will just write this question in the next. I'll just clear off. Fine. So you have p plus p square plus p cube plus p power 4 plus p power 5 plus p power 6 plus p power 7. I'll keep them as it is. Okay, and I try to write the denominator. So what is 1 p power minus 3? Is it not 1 by p cube? Okay, what is p power minus 4? Is it not 1 power p for 1 by p power 4? What is p power minus 5? That is 1 by p power 5. So I can go on writing like this all the terms. Okay, 1 by p power 9. Then what I will do is I will take LCM here. Okay, So what is LCM? What you know LCM, right? If it is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3, so what will you do? You will 3 will go here, 2 will go here. So it is 3 minus 2 by 6. Or in another words, you will write like this. So the LCM is 6. So you will multiply with 3 here, you will multiply with 3 here. LCM is 6. So in order to get 6, you will multiply 2 here, you will multiply 2 here. Similarly, what is denominator? Denominator here it is. Denominator here it is. In the denominator, maximum power is 9, right? So 9 is there. So here there is 3. So for that, I will multiply p power 6 here, p power 6 here. Then p power 5 here, p power 5. If I go on multiplying like that, so what will happen? So if you take LCM and write, this will be, so numerator I will not touch. Or in numerator, anything is common in that? Yes, that is p I can take common. So I will write it as, if I take p common, I will get 1 plus p square plus, and p power 7. When I take p out, that means 1 p I have taken out. So therefore, what I will get is p power 6 here. Clear? So whole divided by, now when I take LCM, what is LCM? LCM everywhere you can write it as p power 9, right? So p power 9 is the LCM. If p power 9 is LCM, I need to multiply what here? I need to multiply p power 6 and p power 6. So this part, I have to multiply p power 6. So I'll get p power 6 plus. So next p power 4 is there. If I want to make it a p power 9, so 4 plus 5 is 9. So I have to multiply p power 5, p power 5. So numerator will get p power 5. So here I'll multiply p power 5. Here also I'll multiply p power 5. So next there is p power 5 is there. So p power 5 means I have to multiply p power 4. If I multiply p power 4 both to numerator and denominator, what will remain here? P power 4. Then if I go on writing like this, I'll get p cube, then p square, then p plus, as soon as it comes to here, already there is p power 9 is there. So that should be 1, right? So then what it is, this p power 9 goes to numerator. Why? Fraction by fraction. So it is going to numerator as p power 10, and you can clearly observe here, this whole part 1 plus p power 6 and 1 plus p square plus p power 6. So these are common and they will get cancelled. So p power 9 will go above and will become p power 10. So what is that k value? K is equal to 10. I think some student is getting 9. Okay. You can just observe carefully. This is p power 9, right? So this is p power 9. So this is p power 9. So p power 9 goes to numerator and becomes p power 10. So what is the value of k? K equal to 10. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear? Or should I explain again? Okay. Shall we go to the next question? Okay. We'll go to next question. Fine. So all of you are very enthusiastic and very dynamic. So all of you, I'm very happy that you are getting answers. Okay. So we'll go to next question. So I'll clear this. Okay. Thank you. Now let us go to this simplification. Simplify this. Here your understanding of LCM and all these things are tested. Okay. So your LCM should be, you should be very good with LCM, taking LCM, not only taking LCM for the numbers, you should also be expert in taking LCM for, you should also be taking LCM for the variables. Okay. So after this, I will tell little bit about LCM. I'm going to tell you something which you don't know about LCM LCF. Okay. And I think yesterday some students asked me, sir, how to calculate the square roots easily. Okay, that also I'm planning to take one class, how to take square roots and cube roots also I'm going to teach you. Okay, so before we end these sessions, I will make sure that you will calculate the square roots and cube roots of perfect squares. I'm not telling you about some number, the perfect square. Whenever perfect square is there, how to make it. So that's we are going to discuss tomorrow, not tomorrow, upcoming days. Okay, fine. So now this question, simplification of this, how to do. Again, whenever you have x power b minus a, understand that what is this? This is x power b by x power a, right? Okay, this format I am going to write. So this will be equal to 1 divided by So this is 1 plus, what is b minus a? Is it not x power b by x power a? Okay, what is c minus a? That is x power c by x power a, right? Yes or no? Okay. So next I have 1 by a minus b, c minus b. So that is going to be 1 plus x power a by x power b plus x power c by x power b. Okay. So next term we are going to get 1 plus x power b by x power c plus x power a by x power c. Any doubt in this? Answer is 1. Good. There are many students very fast enough to calculate. I think just by observation only you got to know, right? So if you take LCM here, what I have to multiply? I have to multiply x power a here. I have to multiply x power a, right? So this is going to be x power a, okay, x power a plus x power b plus x power c. So divided by x power a. So this is what you're going to get, denominator, and this x power a goes to numerator. So what will be that step? That step is x power a by x power a plus x power b plus x power c. Clear? So next you will get this b will go to numerator. So that is x power b by, you have x power a plus x power b plus x power c. And similarly here, this x power c. Okay, so next you will get x power c goes to numerator, and you will get x power a plus x power b plus x power c, and you can clearly see it is x power a plus x power b plus x power c, all will come to numerator only, and denominator also it is same. So therefore answer will be equal to what? Equal to 1. Okay, I am very happy to see that many of the students have answered it correctly. So this Akash, Kirti, Samuel, Spurti, okay, then so many of the students have written correctly. Yeah. So Shraddha, Vaishnavi. So thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation. Okay. So now we will. So this is about. This question is about simplification. Okay. So this search means you should have understanding how do you simplify. So can you explain once again? Okay, sure. I will explain once again. So what we did is, so we try to write it in terms of, in a short way. I will explain. Okay, so I will explain with different marker here. So I have yeah. Okay, so what is there here? These two I am going to write it as x power b by x power c and x power c by x power a. Okay, write it as x power b by x power a, x power a. And this I will write it as x power a by x power b. This I will write it as x power c by x power b. So I will simplify this, then I will take LCM. Okay, so then I'm going to take LCM, and I'm taking LCM. So there is 1 here, right? So there's x power b, denominator x power a, x power a. So here also I want to make x power a. So therefore I will explain this. Okay, so if you multiply x power a and x power a here, so it's going to be x power a by x power a, right? So x power a plus x power b plus x power c, all these things will come to numerator. Okay, and denominator is x power a is common, that goes to numerator again, because fraction by fraction, you know that a by b divided by c by d. So this is going to be a by b into d by c, that goes to numerator. Okay, this is x power a goes to numerator, and denominator there is x power a plus x power b plus x power c. And the same thing, same steps you do for second and third part. You will get numerator x power a first part, x power b second part, x power c third part. So if you add it, numerator and denominator is same, therefore you will get answer equal to 1. Okay, fine. So this is about simplification. So this is about simplification, and I'm going to erase it. Yeah. Now next question is very good one. Okay. So next question is very good one. Before I get into that, just I remembered one very good thing to discuss. Okay. I will ask you a question. What is LCM? Just based on LCM, and I'm going to tell you something which you don't know about LCM. Okay, so what is LCM of say 6 and 8? What is LCM? What is LCM of 6 and 8? So who will tell me LCM of 6 and 8? LCM, not HCF. HCF is 1. So LCM is 48. Okay, so 48 or 24? So 24, right? So answer is 24. LCM is equal to 24, not 48. Okay, so 24. So least common multiple. It should be least, right? So it's equal to 24. Fine. So LCM of 6 and 8 is 24. Fine. So what is LCM of 7 and 11? Yes, lowest common multiple. Yes. So 7 and 11. So 77. Very simple. Okay, 77. Now I'm going to ask you a question. What is LCM of 2 pi? Okay, not before coming into pi, I will discuss in terms of variables. Okay, so what is LCM of x square and x power 4? What is LCM of x square and x power 4? X power 4. Okay, so x power 4. Okay, x power 4. Yes, answer is x power 4. Simple. Okay, fine, x power 4. What is LCM of x and x plus 1? LCM of x and x plus 1. LCM of x and x plus 1. X plus 1. Okay, one answer I got, x plus 1. Any other answer? X square plus x. Okay, there is an answer, x square plus x.
X square plus x.
Okay. How is it x square plus x? Because I think you multiplied them, right? So you multiplied them and you got it as x square plus x. Okay, this is x square plus x. One of the answer. Okay. Why is it x square plus x? Here you can see LCM. LCM of 7 and 11 is 77 because both of them are primes. Both of them are prime numbers. But when it comes to x and x plus 1, so you don't know that variable, what is that x? So x can be anything, right? It can be any number. Variable means you can take any value. So x and x plus 1, there are two expressions. We call it as expressions. And these expressions, if they do not have anything common, we compare them like prime numbers only, or the prime expressions. So okay, what is the meaning of anything in common, sir? X plus 1 and x, there is x common, right? I'm not telling about that. Okay, when I say common, if you have x and x square, or x and x into x plus 1, something like this. Here, this is first expression, this is second expression. They have common x value, right? X is the expression which is common. But when it comes to plus 1 here, so when you have plus 1, so we do not consider this plus 1. We do not consider x plus 1. So anywhere you have addition or subtraction, that will together make only one term. Okay, so x plus 1 is a one term, x is another term, x plus 1 is a separate term, x is a separate term. If they are separated with plus or minus, here x and x plus or minus 1 is there. So x plus 1 and x minus 1 makes a separate term, and we consider it as relatively like a prime only. So x and x plus 1 we consider like a prime. So therefore, when you are taking LCM of it, so you consider x is separate, x plus 1 is separate. They don't have anything in common because x plus 1, in that x and 1 is separated by plus or minus. So plus or minus actually divides it, in the sense it will make a separate term. So x into x plus 1 will be the LCM. What is HCF of this? HCF, they do not have anything in common. So therefore, you have to consider HCF is equal to 1. So when we take anything in common, means there should be multiplication. We should see in terms of multiplication. Suppose the question is x into x. X is first term and x is one term. X into x plus 1 is another term. Then what is LCM of this? LCM will be x into x plus 1, because just like you have 6 and 8, or just like you have LCM of 4 and 8. So LCM is 8, right? So whatever is there, 8 is already including 4. So x into x plus 1 already included x. So therefore LCM we write x into x plus 1. But what about HCF? HCF for this, HCF will be x only, because what is that common? for both the terms, that is x. Here you have to consider x as the common, there is nothing but the HCF. Clear? So this is about expression. Somebody asks you what is LCM of x plus 1 and x minus 1. So you have to consider x plus 1 is separate term, x minus 1 is also separate term. Okay, x plus 1 is a separate term, x minus 1 is a separate term. They are relatively prime. Whenever they are relatively prime, you have LCM of 7 and 11, you just multiply, you will get 77. Similarly, LCM of this you have to just multiply, you will get x plus 1 into x minus 1, that is x square minus 1. Okay, x square minus 1. Okay, somebody asked you what is LCM of, you have x square minus 1 and x minus 1. LCM of x square minus 1 and x minus 1. So now are they relatively prime? You have to analyze. So what is x square minus 1? X square minus 1 is x plus 1 into x minus 1. This is the first term. Okay, and what is second term? Second term in this is x minus 1. So anything common? Yes, x minus 1 is common. So therefore, what is LCM of this? LCM means you have to take a bigger picture. Bigger picture means it's least, just like you have 6, 4 and 8. First question, first place I have written 4 and 8. LCM is 8 because 8 includes 4. Similarly, x square minus 1 includes x minus 1. So therefore, LCM is x square minus 1. And what is HCF of this? HCF of this is x square minus 1 and x minus 1. What they have common here? X minus 1 is common. So therefore, I have to write HCF is x minus 1, LCM is x square minus 1. So understood this? This is very, very simple one. Very minute because little mistake. Okay, little conceptual, and if there is mismatch in conceptual understanding, no, then you will face some difficulty whenever such question comes. Okay, and when it comes to mathematics and even sometimes physics, you will have to deal with expressions only. So LCM of expressions you have to understand. LCM of those things you have to understand. Okay, this first thing I wanted to discuss in LCM HCF. I want to discuss about expression, LCM and HCF of expressions. Okay, so next thing is, I'll erase this part. Okay, so next thing is, in case you have an irrational number, what happens? Okay, in case you have irrational number, what happens? Say you want to find out LCM of 2 and pi. Who will tell me answer? You have to tell me what is HCF of 2 and pi and LCM of 2 and pi.
1.
1. Okay, which one is 1? LCM is 1 or HCF is 1? LCM is 10 now. Hey, why LCM is 10? Okay, so 2 pi is LCM. Okay, I am getting answer equal to 2 times pi. Okay, fine. And I am getting HCF is equal to 1. Is it the correct answer? Sir, not getting. Okay, you can try. If you are not getting, you can, yes, HCF equal to 1. You can guess. Okay, at least you can guess, and that we can discuss on. Okay, so HCF is 1 and LCM is 2 pi, right? Okay, most of the answer I got like this. So fine. So now we will just analyze. Okay, we'll just analyze. So you have LCM of, okay, LCM of say 6 and 8. So you wrote LCM of 6 and 8 equal to 24, right? Fine. What is HCF of 6 and 8? HCF of 6 and 8 is, you wrote it as 2, no? 2, right? Okay. So HCF is 2, LCM is 24. So HCF is 2, LCM is 24. Now, what is the meaning of HCF? Highest common factor. Okay. What is the meaning of factor? Factor is, what is factor? Factor is something which divides. Okay. Factor is something which divides. Okay. What is a factor? When suppose somebody asks you a question, what are the factors of 6? How do you write factors of 6? So 1 is a factor of 6, then 2 is a factor of 6, 3 is a factor of 6, 4 is not a factor. Why? 6 divided by 4. So you are not getting a natural number. So you should get a natural number. 6 divided by 4 is not a natural number. But 6 divided by 6 is a natural number, right? So 6 divided by 6 is 1. Sorry, 6 divided by 6 is 1. So therefore 6 is also one of the factors. So how many factors are there for 6? There are 4 factors. Okay, any other factors I missed out? 4 is not a factor. There are 4 factors. Okay, fine. There are 4 factors of 6. Fine. Now, you can clearly see any factor you take and divide for 6. So 6 by 1 is 6. 6 by 2, 6 by its factor, 6 by 2 is 3. So 6 by 3 is 2. 6 by 6 is 1. So when I divide by that, so you should get a natural number. Do you agree with this? So when I divide, you should get a natural number. Okay. So similarly, LCM also, least common multiple. So what is that multiple? Multiple means multiple of 6 also, multiple of 8 also. So which is the least one in that? 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are 12, 6 threes are 18, 6 fours are 24, and 8 threes also 24. The first one which matches for 6 and 8 is 24. Therefore, we consider LCM is 24. Okay. So that 24 is 6 fours are 24, 8 threes are 24. So you will always get a multiple. So this is 3 is a multiple, and 8 4 is a multiple. 8 fours are 24, and 6 fours are 24, and 8 threes are 24. So 4 and 3 are multiple. And what are those multiples? Those multiples must be natural number. This is the foundation of LCM HCF. Okay, this is a foundation. So they should be a natural number. Okay, so why I'm discussing this now? Let us come to this part. So you told, so we were discussing, right? So LCM, we got, many of you felt LCM should be 2 pi. Okay, let us try 2 pi. So 2 pi is like the number, and if I divide by pi, I will get 2, which is a natural number. If I divide LCM by any of the 2 numbers, I should get a natural number. Okay, so if I divide 2 pi by 2, second number 2, I will get a pi, which is irrational number, right? Which is irrational number. So that means what? Irrational number means it's not a natural number at all. So that means I cannot say 2 pi. So 2 paisa is 2 pi. So 2 paisa, I cannot say paisa is a multiple. So that 3 4s are 5 8s are, so all 8 5 all are multiples. They are natural numbers. Pi is not a natural number. That means what is the conclusion, sir? Conclusion is for 2 and pi, LCM doesn't exist. Okay, LCM HCF doesn't exist. No LCM HCF. First time in your life you may be hearing this. Okay, so no LCM HCF for these numbers. So I will summarize in another form. You can always take LCM HCF. You can always take LCM HCF if they are of same type. Okay, I will use some slang language. They should be of same caste. Okay, what is the meaning of same caste? Say 2 is a number which is a natural number, 8 is a number which is a natural number. They are of same caste. So pi is an irrational number, but 2 pi is also irrational number. Now for pi and 2 pi, I can take LCM HCF. Okay, pi and 2 pi. What is LCM of pi and 2 pi? That's 2 pi. So why? If I divide 2 pi by the first number, I will get 2. If I divide 2 pi from the second number, I will get 1. So they are natural numbers. Clear? Understanding? So here, if they are of the same caste, then there won't be any problem. Sir, what about LCM of 2 irrational numbers? That's what I'm trying now. So pi is an irrational number, 2 pi is an irrational number. They are of same caste. Then only you will be able to find LCM and HCF. Suppose somebody asks you what is LCM and HCF of root 2 and root 2. Okay, in terms of root 2 I will write. Okay. What is LCM of root 2 and 2 root 2? Now first thing I will see is root 2 is okay, irrational number. Fine, first number is irrational number. Second number is also irrational number, and they are of the same caste. So therefore I can easily write the root 2 is a common part, and 2 and 1 is there. So 2 and 1, you can just take LCM of 2 and 1, that is 2 into root 2. The answer is 2 into root 2. Okay, suppose somebody asks you what is LCM of root 2 and root 3. Okay, so you may say, sir, root 2 into root 3, root 6 is the answer, but answer is wrong. Why is wrong? So root 2 into root 3 is root 6. That's correct. But again, I will come back to the foundation of LCM HCF. The foundation of HCF means that multiple or a factor should be a natural number. If you divide root 2 by root 6 by root 2, I will get root 3, which is not a natural number. It is not a natural number. So because it is not a natural number, LCM HCF doesn't exist for this. There is no LCM HCF. That means, sir, then both are irrational, but both are not of the same caste. They are irrational, but they are not of the same caste. If it is root 2 and here also there is root 2, then you can do. Or one place root 3, other is also root 3, then you can do. If both of them are of different type of irrational numbers, still you cannot find HCF and LCM. Okay, so you enjoyed this part. So something very new to learn, right? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Okay. So remember, there are some numbers for which you cannot take LCM and HCF also. Okay. So this is something very foundation of your understanding. So when you are in 11th and 12th, no, these are the small things you should be aware of. That's all. So then you can actually build up your maths like anything. Fine. So shall I move ahead? So already time is 10, 11, 10. Okay, fine. Now, yeah. The last part of this, which one is bigger? Root 21 minus root 20 or root 19 minus root 18? I will write it as 1. I'll write it as 2. Which one is bigger? 1 is bigger or 2 is bigger? How do you compare that? That is my question. How do you compare it? So can you go on finding the values of root 21, root 20? So root of 20, you can write this, that form is there now. So finding square root of any number, you have that format. So if you do like that, it will take a lot of time, right? And that also you should write very accurate value. So otherwise you will not get answer. Who will tell you? Or okay, what is your way of solving this question? What is your approach to this question? Let us try to understand approach to this question. Try. Approach to this question. What is approach to this question? Making roots to power. How do you do that? Making roots to, okay, root 90 minus root 18 is bigger. Okay, there. How did you do, Samuel? What is the reason for that? Root 90 minus root 18 is bigger. Okay, Akash, I didn't get that. What is that? Making roots to powers. I didn't understand. Okay. Shall I give you 30 more seconds? You will try, then we will do, or shall I start doing? 20. Okay, you can write. Okay, Akash, you wrote 21 power 1 by 2. 21 power 1 by 2, 20 power 1 by 2. Then how do you simplify that? Squaring both the sides. Yes, Aditya More, right? So squaring both the sides, what you are trying to do, what you are trying to say, I can appreciate that, but generally, when do you square it? When do you square it? Suppose you have a equation, you have root of something is equal to root of another thing, okay, or root minus root is equal to root minus root. So there should be equal to sign for both the numbers. Then only you can do. But it's not. There is no equal to sign here. So therefore you cannot. So you cannot simplify this. Okay. Let us, before we get into this question, let us try to understand. If you take root 2, yeah, it is given x equal to, no. Oh, okay, sorry. I think, yeah, fine. So you consider x1 equal to this, x2 equal to this. Okay. Yeah. Should be x1 equal to x2 equal to. Fine. So x1 is a different number, x2 is a different number. Then you have to find which one is bigger. So thank you. So here you have x1, x2. So let us try to go from the beginning and try to see the pattern how it goes. Okay. For example, you have root 2 minus root 1. What is this value? This value is not, isn't it 1.414 minus 1? That's equal to 0.41. Okay. Then you have root 3 minus root 2. Okay, root 3 minus root 2 is 1.7 minus 1.4. How much you will get this? Something around 0.3. 0.3. Okay. Then you have root 4 minus root 3. Root 3. Root 4 minus root 3. Then what do you get? Root 4 minus root 3 is 2 minus 1.7. Actually, you should do in a proper way. Then you will get something around, this value is not 7. It goes more than 7. Anybody remembers two decimal places of root 3? Root 3 I think is 1.73. Yeah, 1.732. Thank you. So 1.732, that will be something around 0.268. Correct. 268 plus 732 is 1. Fine. So if you observe this, right? So root 2 minus root 1, root 2 minus root 1, it was 0.4. Then when the numbers are increasing, these two are consecutive numbers. 2 and 1 are consecutive numbers. Root 21, root 20 are also consecutive numbers. Root 19, root 18, again the numbers in that are consecutive. So we are trying to observe what is happening when the numbers are increasing. So here root 2 minus root 1 is 0.41. Root 3 minus root 2 is 0.3. It got reduced. Then if you increase the number, root 4 minus root 3, it's going to reduce further. And when you increase the numbers, surely you will get root 19 minus root 18, some particular value. Okay, which is x2. And then comes root 21 minus root 20. Okay, or root, so next comes actually root 20 minus root 19. Next comes root 21 minus root 20, which is x1. As the numbers are decreasing, you can observe clearly. Yes or no? So numbers value of the differences are decreasing. That means when you get this, you get x2. After that, you will get x1. Which is smaller? X1 is smaller. That means surely x1 is smaller than x2. Okay, so which one is bigger than x2 is bigger. So root 19 minus root 18 is bigger. So then that means your guess is correct. Okay, so one of the student has answered, I think Samuel. So root 19 minus root 18. That your guess is correct, but you didn't tell me how did you do that. Okay, so root 19 minus root 18 is bigger than root 21 minus root 20. Understood this question? It's just based on your values. Okay. So based on these values, you can understand. Fine. I'll give another question of the bit different type. Okay, bit different. Fine. My question to you is, which one is bigger again? Root 7 plus root 4 is bigger, or root 6 plus root 5 is bigger? So say this is x1, this is x2. Which is bigger? Root 7 plus root 4 is bigger, or root 6 plus root 5 is bigger? So any guess? X1 is bigger. Okay. What is the reason, Akash? Why do you feel that x1 is bigger? x2 is bigger. Okay, Sai Prem, what is the reason x2 is bigger? Because it has 2. What is 2? So he is telling x2 is bigger because it is having 2. No. So this is x1 is bigger. Prithvi is telling x1 is bigger. Sir, I think x1 is bigger. Okay, why? Why is the reason? What is the reason? x1 is greater. Okay, fine. So what is your approach to that? You are guessing it, fine. So what is the approach to that? What is the reason for that? What is your way of understanding which is bigger? Correct, sir. Okay, you may have some particular value, like you may be having root 6 value, root 5 value, you can compare. Suppose somebody asked you the question root 18 plus root 19 and something like that, then how do you do? Okay, so therefore you need to have some way to find out, right? So what I will do here is a gap between numbers. There is a gap between numbers. Yes, there is a gap between numbers, but surely there is a gap between numbers, but root 7 is much bigger than root 5, root 6, no? Right? So you cannot just conclude from that. Okay, what you can do, I will take x1 equal to root 7 plus root 4, right? I will square it. So that is x1 square equal to 7 root 7 square plus root 4 square is 11 plus 2 root 28 because 7 into 4 is 28. Correct. Please keep your mics off. So there are some DJs going on, so please keep it off so that everybody will be attending the class. Okay, so x2 square. What is x2 square equal to? x2 square equal to root 6 square plus root 5 square. It is 11 plus 2 root what? 6 into 5 is 30. Fine. So if you observe, no, this 11 is here, 11 is here. Fine. So this 2 is here, 2 is here. So what is the difference now? That is root 30 and root 28. So which is bigger in this root? 30 is bigger. So that means x2 square is greater than x1 square. Do you agree with me? x2 square is bigger than x1 square. If x2 square is bigger than x1 square, so surely x2 should be bigger than x1. So which is bigger in this? x2 is bigger. Clear? So like this, you have idea, but you need to explore it. You need to analyze properly. So then you will get to know. So comparison of these things, no, is always a bit confusing. So we discussed mainly surds till now. Okay, so surds and their properties, and also we discussed many small details of that. Okay, so what all things we learned, let us just summarize it. Okay, so what are the things we learned? We discussed about properties of the surds. Okay, then we solved questions on simplification, we solved questions on rationalization, we solved questions from comparison of two surds. Then whenever two surds are there, which one, their order of the values, okay, which one is bigger, which one is smaller, writing it in an increasing order or decreasing order, all those things we discussed. And is this the first time I am hearing about surds? Yes, actually, in CBSE book, no, they have not mentioned anywhere that they are surds, but you have already dealt with it. Okay, you have already dealt with it. You have done all these questions. No, root 3 minus root 2. So how do you rationalize this? You write it as root 2 plus root 3 plus root 2, root 3 plus root 2. This rationalization you have done, and these terms we call it as surds. That's all. So you may be hearing first time, but actually you have done those questions. So in your CBSE, they have not mentioned that those are surds. Okay. Because now whether it's a state syllabus or CBSE syllabus, so book is same, right? So they don't have any difference in the books. But in earlier days, in CBSE pattern was different and state syllabus pattern was different, and there was a chapter called surds in state syllabus. Yes, that is called rationalization, but these terms are called as surds. Rationalization of surds it is. Okay, so the combination of two irrational number we call it as surds. Fine. So that terminology was not there for you, that's all. But you know what is an irrational number, you know what makes an irrational number, addition of two irrational number is an irrational number. Okay, so those things you know. Okay, so therefore you have done it. So this what I just introduced you. Fine. So thank you very much for this part. So, sirs. So before we end, I will just give an introduction to trigonometry because you have of you are very enthusiastic, and there's still 8 more minutes are remaining for 11:30. So I'll just give an introduction of trigonometry before we get into that. So tomorrow we'll start with trigonometry, which is very important part, and trigonometry is like the base of your mathematics. Okay, so it's like base of the mathematics. Why I say base of the mathematics? Because this is going to repeat in many chapters, whether it is 11 or it is 12th. So today I am not going to teach trigonometry because time is very short. Because I wanted to first complete the search, then I want to get into trigonometry. So tomorrow we have some questions from that. Yes, we will tell all the identities. We will discuss whatever you studied in 10th. We'll in a short way we'll summarize it. So then we will end. Okay. So, how many of you fear trigonometry? This is my question to you. How many of you fear trigonometry? How many of you fear trigonometry? How many of you feel trigonometry, sir? I fear a lot. Okay. Yes. Okay. There are many answers. Okay. And I never fear trigonometry. Oh, very good. So you will then relish trigonometry. Okay. So identities you fear. So sir, there is no fear for trigonometry, but the identities. Okay. I feel fearful. Okay. So why do you feel fearful about trigonometry? What is the reason for that? Is it because too many types of questions are there? Is that the reason, or you feel very difficult to remember it? Is that the reason? So what is the reason for that? Application. Okay. So Akash feels no calculations are there, hence you feel very easy. Good. Lot of questions, methods. It's confusing. So which one is confusing? The ratios are confusing, or which one is confusing? Yeah. Ratios, fine. It takes some time to analyze. Fine. Okay. I can appreciate your answers. So trigonometry, because of its complexity and it's completely a mess inside the head. Okay. Okay. So there are so many comments I'm getting here about trigonometry. Anyway, so trigonometry is, as the name says, it mainly deals with triangles. Okay. There is connection with triangles, and when you have a triangle, trigonometry is only limited to a right angle triangle. Only limited to a right angle triangle. Okay, so right angle triangle means one of the angle is 90 degree. Fine. So say if it is A, B, C. So what you studied in your 10th is only triangle which is a right angle triangle. Okay, when you come to 11, you will also learn trigonometry for every other triangle. Okay, measurement of three sides of right angle triangle. Measurement, not only measurement, not exactly the measurement, it is the ratios. So trigonometry is ratios of sides of right angle triangle. So ratios of the sides of right angle triangle. Where is cosec, sec and cot? Yes. First thing is the ratios. What is the ratios? It is simply, you just listen to me one minute. So before then we can discuss any questions. So if there is A, B, C are the sides, okay, and I have another bigger triangle. I have another bigger triangle, say PQR. You have studied similar triangle chapter in your 10th. If their angles are same, I'm just marking like this. So that means this angle R equal to angle C. Okay, angle Q equal to angle B because both of them are 90 degree, and similarly angle A equal to angle P. So now these two triangles are similar triangles. Similar triangles means the ratios are equal, right? What are those ratios? Ratios is AB divided by PQ. So like that you have ratios equal. So whenever you have a right angle triangle of the same angle, whichever size it is, one thing is that respective sides are of particular ratio. Also, its own sides are of particular ratio. In similar triangles, you will study triangle 1 and triangle 2, their similarity. There you will take the ratios and do. But when it comes to trigonometry, it is ratio of the same triangle. What is the meaning of ratio of the same triangle? How many ways I can write the ratios? I have AB divided by BC, I have BC divided by AB, then I have AB divided by AC, or I have AC divided by AB, then I have AC divided by BC, then BC divided by AC. So I can write 8 ratios, and sorry, not 8 ratios, 6 ratios, and these 6 ratios are given some terminologies. Okay, what are those terminologies? That terminology depends upon angle. So suppose this is angle theta, this is also angle theta. So now with respect to angle theta, I will write the ratio. With respect to angle theta, there is opposite side of that is AB, hypotenuse is AC. So this AB divided by AC is there. So that I will write it as sine theta. What is the meaning of sine? So there are some reasons for that. In trigonometry, why sine is called as sine, why cos is called as cos, why tan is called as tan. All those things, there are reasons for that. And maybe some other time we'll discuss exact reason for that. Why that sine came, from where that sine came, because it is very lengthy. So therefore, sine is something. In short, there is I don't exactly remember whether it is in Greek or Rome. So that sine is something called as sinister. Sinister means something opposite. So something opposite and hypotenuse. And this ratios actually comes from a circle, unit circle. You have to consider a unit circle and consider a point. Then you draw perpendicular, you will get a right angle triangle, right? So this is center O, this is A, suppose this is B. Okay, so for this triangle they apply as opposite side, adjacent side. So for a unit circle, so that we will discuss some other time in detail. But what is sine? Sine is opposite. So therefore opposite by adjacent. So that is sine theta. The opposite by hypotenuse, that is sine theta. What is cos theta? Cos theta is a ratio with respect to theta you are observing. Okay, with respect to theta, it is adjacent by hypotenuse. What is adjacent? Adjacent is B divided by hypotenuse is A. What is tan theta? Tan theta is actually ratio. So ratio of sine and cos, that's going to be AC will get cancelled. Or tan is opposite by adjacent. So what is opposite? Opposite is AB and adjacent is BC. So they are only the ratios. That means if the angles are fixed, just like in similar triangles, when the angles are fixed, then the ratios of the sides, corresponding sides, are also fixed. Similarly, in trigonometry, you will consider only one single triangle, and in that triangle, if your angle is fixed, so whatever will be the size of the triangle, the ratio of the particular sides are also fixed. Like sine theta means opposite by hypotenuse. That value will be fixed. Whether it is for this triangle or whether it is for this triangle, that value remains as it is because that angle is fixed. Okay. So there are 3 ratios, main ratios: principal ratio, sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, and their reciprocals. So what is the reciprocal? Reciprocal is cosec theta, secant theta, cot theta. So I generally tell students to remember like this. So sine and cosec. Okay, sine theta and cosec theta. So sine theta is 1 by cosec, right? So sine theta equal 1 by cosec theta. Fine. So sin theta equal to 1 by cosec theta. So sin theta and cosec theta are brothers. Sin theta and cosec theta are brothers. Similarly, cos theta and yes, cosec theta is also reciprocal of sin theta. There is no problem here. I can shift it right, I can shift it here, I can shift it down. So cosec theta is equal to 1 by sin theta. Sin theta I can write 1 by cosec theta, both are same. Okay, so cosec theta and sin theta are brothers. Okay, secant theta and cos theta are brothers. Similarly, tan theta and cot theta are brothers because they have similar properties. Because they have similar properties. Because they have similar properties, therefore I'm writing their brothers. Okay, so when you come to 11th, no, so there will be lot of things based on. See, you need to give the life to mathematics. Okay, if you just try to remember it, no, it becomes very difficult. No, there are so many formulas in trigonometry. There are n number of formulas. Okay, especially if you are planning for JEE, there are so many formulas. But you can. It's not that you are from CBSE, it will be easy for you. You are from state syllabus, it will be difficult for you. No, it depends on your effort, it depends on your hard work. At the same time, there are some ways to remember. If you give life to mathematics, it is very easy. So how it will behave in what way? Okay, sine has a nature, cos has a nature, tan has a nature. If you understand their natures, consider them to be like living persons. Okay, and how they behave in which situations. Actually, you can learn a lot. Okay, like this, you can remember so many things. You don't have to by heart. Okay, sine and cosec are brothers. Cos and secant are brothers. So this is one thing. We will discuss whenever that comes. Why I'm telling like that. And also this table you have studied before, right? So table. So there are values, only principal values are there for you. What are the principal values? 0 degree, then you have 30 degree, 45 degree, then you have 60 degree, then you have 90 degree. And only till here you have studied in your 10th standard. Okay. There are many other angles also. Which is not that important for you right now. Okay. So that you will study in detail when you come to 11th. But these are principal values you must remember. If you don't remember then you will be facing very much difficulty. Okay, this is one thing. So this table I expect you to remember by tomorrow. Everybody should remember. I hope you have already by hearted it. Then you have this trigonometric ratios. You know, so sin theta equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. This perpendicular is also called as opposite by hypotenuse. Base is also called as adjacent. So base is equivalent to adjacent, perpendicular is equivalent to opposite, hypotenuse is hypotenuse. And then the relation between them, sin theta into cosec theta is 1, cos theta into secant theta is 1, tan theta into cot theta equal to 1, and the ratios, sin by cos. So these things you have studied. So fundamentals of trigonometric identities. So these three identities are like pillars of trigonometry. And in 10th, whatever question you have solved is only based on these identities. Okay, there are thousands of identities in trigonometry, but these are the pillars of those identities also. So sin square plus cos square equal to 1. You have 1 plus tan square equal to secant square, 1 plus cot square equal to cosec square. So these three are identities which you should remember. Okay, if you know this much, then tomorrow's class when we are discussing, it becomes very easy for you. And we will also, I will go from basics only. So even if you are a beginner of trigonometry, I will assure you that you will be able to understand it and you will be able to relish trigonometry. Okay, so already time is up. So I think Uday sir is waiting for meeting all of you. So you can you can join 11:45 for the physics class. Okay, so again, thanks a lot. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation. I'm seeing day by day the numbers are quite slowly increasing. Something around I saw up to 55 to 60 also today. So thank you very much. Thank you.